Now, terrorists have shot and injured a Kashmiri Pandit at the Choudhary Gund in the area in Shopian. Now, that's the piece of breaking news that's coming in, wherein it seems that the safety of the Kashmiri Pandit community as well as migrants continues to be in jeopardy, where terrorists have shot and injured a Kashmiri Pandit at the Choudhary Gund area in Shopian. I'm joined by my colleague Tejinder Singh Sodhi on the broadcast on this big piece of breaking news. Tejinder, what more details can you get for us? What's the latest from Ground Zero?
Ayushman, right now the victim is battling for his life in the district hospital in Shopia. This incident happened almost half an hour ago when the terrorists they entered into the residential lawn of a Kashmiri Pandit resident identified as Puran Krishan Bhat, son of Tarak Nath Bhat, a resident of Choudhary Gund area of Shopian. This is in South Kashmir. The terrorists fired at him. He has been shifted to the hospital in a critical condition. As you rightly pointed out that the attacks on minority Kashmiri Pandit community have once again resumed in South Kashmir, wherein a Kashmiri Pandit has been targeted. Just a couple of days ago, if you remember, there was another non-local bank manager who was targeted in Baramulla's Patan area, but fortunately he escaped the terror attack. But now this attack has happened on the Kashmiri Pandit. When he was in his residence, he was sitting in his lawn with his family members when the armed terrorists, they entered into the area and they started firing indiscriminately towards towards Puran Krishan Bhat, who has been injured, and right now he has been shifted to the hospital. We are told by the doctors who are attending him that his condition remains to be critical, but all efforts are being made so as to save his life. But yes, another cowardly attack by the terrorists on unarmed Kashmiri Pandits, the Kashmiri Pandits who have been living peacefully in Kashmir, they are being made target. If you remember, just in the last couple of months, there have been several attacks on Kashmiri Pandits. A Kashmiri Pandit employee, Rahul Bhatt, was killed in Badgam. And after that, there has been a spate of killing of Kashmiri Pandits in various parts of Kashmir Valley. And now this attack on a Kashmiri Pandit when he was inside his residential house, the terrorists barged inside his residential premises, and when he was in the lawn sitting with his family members, the terrorists started firing indiscriminately towards him, in which he was seriously injured. We are told by the sources in the security forces that the entire area has been cordoned off. The Jammu and Kashmir police, the CRPF, and the army, they have cordoned off the entire area, and a massive manhunt has already been launched by the security forces to identify and neutralize the terrorist who is responsible for carrying out this terror attack. But sources are saying that this again seems to be a handiwork of hybrid module of terrorists, wherein these terrorists, they give a gun to somebody who has no terror or criminal background, and these these hybrid terrorists, they go to the target, assassinate him or carry attacks on him, and then the weapon of this terror act is given back to the terrorists, and these hybrid terrorists again merge with the society. But right now we are told that a massive manhunt in the area is on to nab the terrorists responsible for carrying out this cowardly attack on a Kashmiri Pandit. We are told that there have been some families of Kashmiri Pandits who did not migrate from the area. They have been living there peacefully, but now these terrorists, they are again targeting the Kashmiri Pandit community. For long, the Kashmiri Pandits who had to leave their houses and migrate to other places in the country when the Pakistan-sponsored armed terrorism started in Kashmir Valley, some of them returned to Kashmir after the Prime Minister introduced the Prime Minister's Relief and Rehabilitation Package for the displaced Kashmiri Pandit community. But now again, it seems that a sense of fear prevails among the community members because their members are once again being targeted by the terrorists across Kashmir Valley. Yes, Ayushman.
Right. I'm also joined by Mufti Isla, who's reporting from Srinagar. Mufti, what's the latest from Ground Zero? What can you tell us about the condition of this this member of the Kashmiri Pandit community who has been shot at by the terrorists?
Well, so far what we're picking up is that the injuries are very fatal. And in fact, we're still waiting for reports from officials. But there's some news which we're going to only confirm after, officials tell us. But it's not a good one. We're picking up from sources as we speak. But yes, again, the same modus operandi, again, the same area, Shopian, has witnessed a lot of these attacks. In fact, three, if one can, count. When a shopkeeper on a medical shop was attacked. Luckily, he escaped that day with grievous injuries. He had to be in Srinagar's army hospital where he, convalesced. He recovered, but it took him a long, long time. Then there was again an attack in the same area in which, unfortunately, that time Kashmiri Pandit was killed. This is the third attack in same district. Before that, we also seen an attack taking place in Central Kashmir district of Padgam, wherein one Rahul Bhatt was killed. He was a revenue official. So clearly, apart from the Kashmiri Pandits, we've seen minority members being attacked. We saw last week only, in fact, 2 weeks back, a similar kind of attack being carried in which a policeman was, injured. A policeman was killed. A CPF Jawan was injured, and that happened when militants tried to, attack a minority area in Pulwama, in Pinglena area. However, that attack was thwarted. Otherwise, this process is really going on when minorities are targeted. As I said, apart from Kashmiri Pandits, there are some other minority members who have been targeted. There was a Sikh lady who was killed in Kulgam area. Before that, we saw a bank manager also from outside. He was killed in Kulgam area. So all in all, the attack on minority members being carried out. And Tejinder some time back was saying that, these people take stations from across to essentially destabilize the police apparatus, which has been working very hard to secure people who come from outside, non-local people who have now become increasingly target of these militants. We've seen this story panning out since last couple of years. After Article 370 was read down, it's really intensified. It seems to be the modus operandi of these militants, and clearly they're getting direction from across. This has been told many a time by police. What has happened in this particular incident is that this person was in his orchard when he was attacked. Again, seems to be a handiwork of those militants who have really done some kind of a recce to really map out these areas to see where Kashmiri Pandits or minority members are putting up and then attacking them with precision is what we have seen in the last 2 years. Clearly, these attacks are intensifying. Government saying every time that they're going to secure them, but every time we've seen that security being wanting because, to be a kind of a devil's advocate, police also finds it extremely difficult to secure each and every individual, and that's quite difficult. And
Absolutely.
Again, there will be a lot of postmortems and emphasis that, intelligence gathering should be there, and these attacks, when they take place, they should be preempted so that they can be avoided.
Right.